our migration script is properly handled or properly coming properly. So we can go to the select statements and start from the history, the Flyway history tables. And the Flyway history tables, you can see that it's exactly the 5 version of the history table. That's what we defined into our migration files. The file 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is properly handled. The Flyway migration versions is the 5 version is there. It's the most important columns is here the checksum. Every migration script has a unique identity or unique it has unique numbers, version numbers, is a unique file, and also that it has comes as checksum the unique identity of each of the versions, and it's a success the status. So that's our Flyway handle all the migration script, what we are expecting and what is we are waiting. This is properly coming in database levels, and then we can check it like we did a test with the Postman. Let's have a check. Is it data is there? So we checked already. We did the database record 200, 201, and 202, and 203, and 204. We created, and then we can also check also the user role tables. Is it properly coming the role definition, because we did a 200 and 200 cases for user role registration of the user number 1 user 200 role. So that's we can check it like the same test with the Swagger UI. That's we are expecting. That's we are waiting. And then Swagger UI, we can go to the Swagger UI again to create the one user. Let's see, create the user, create the one user and try out. And it says you see all the required information, all the parameters. That's why I said it is really good tools for documenting your REST APIs, and also some testing of your REST APIs for those who are not interested, or your company is not interested to use the Postman or other testing tools. You can also document it, use the REST API with Swagger and run some unit test with some same test that you did in the Postmans. Then they can also just copy paste, and then maybe your web developer, they can run simply test what you are doing in the development team, API development teams, and they can see every parameter input output, and they can run the same test that you have it into your developments. So you can see we can create the user registrations. You see the 206 and 207, and then we can check it like all the records coming properly into our server, our backend server. So we can go to the backend server. So you see there is a record 205, 206, and 207, and then we can try to create all the operation that we are expecting, that we are waiting. So then we can minimize it. We can create maybe 205s, maybe create one user role definitions, you say try out, and then put it like, maybe we can put it at 205s, and then put the body of your registration controls. So all the basic standard good operations. Maybe you have a complex functionalities, we can do also the test here. But I just give it to you the generic idea. How can you do the integrations, configuration, do test with the Postman, do test with the Swagger UI, and also how can you build the Swagger documentation of your REST APIs with all the information that you need. So you see, it's user role definition 104 with registered user 205, and so on and so forth, and we can check it like into the database level, it is coming properly. So you see database level exactly our sequence that we are expecting, exactly our linking between the user role with the user registered user. So exactly what we are expecting when it properly handles in database levels. So you see the log informations, all the data. It doesn't matter from which client you are, and doesn't matter how we are testing. You are testing with the Postman or the Swagger UI. Doesn't matter, or other REST API testing. Since I had all the possibility, you can go like that way to check it, like how can we do the Swagger UI testing. That's the important part you need to be need to be understand the configurations and the possibility, how can you do it, how can you check it. So let's have a check the log information. We can go to the quit the database. We saw the database is properly handled, so we can CLI, then docker processes, we can see processes, and then we can say docker logs information with the application content, the container ID. The container ID, we see the all the execution of your log applications, your Spring Boot application. Is every execution what you expecting, what we're doing, and is tracked. If you don't set it the SQL show script, then this will not didn't show it. But in enterprise application, you normally don't put it like that way. So we just like the basic log informations. I will continue the how can you log informations properly logger with the SLF4 logger or J4 logs information. How can you externally control those things? Even though I will continuing this application with the some Spring Boot application monitoring tool like Grafana, like Prometheus, like Micrometers. These things I will continue the further implementation or further continuation of the application. So you got the clear idea how can you start, how can you implement, how can you run the applications, and how can you deploy the external application. You got the clear idea how we process it like. And even though you can got idea how can you use how useful the Docker desktop tools, you can also use it and you can see the information. If you don't like to write down a lot of commands in the Docker in the CLI, then you can also use these tools and you can visualize all the information that's into your containers. Doesn't matter in the Kubernetes container, Kubernetes cluster, or I already did Kubernetes cluster. That's I already show in the last screencast, but here is the Docker Compose deployment. So we did the developments, what we expecting in the here, the development structure that follow the really professional structure. After the creating the professional structure, we create the versions, the version, and we copy the version into our container directory and put it our configuration files. And out of the configuration file, we simply go to this directory. What we did is simply go this directory, and then we can run the DRI directory. Then we can simply build the docker build and the versions that the version is created, and see the version is there or your command modes. And after the version created, then you can simply run the Docker Compose up, and then the application up. Then you can do the testing with the Postman or Swagger UI. That's all. This is the final the things you can do. So it is called a professional way, but you can have a lot of possibility. How can you handle, how can you do it, and all the possibility you can. So you can see all the models definition that you have it into in your Java models, and you can see everything. But in the end user, the web developer can take these models to transform their language, like maybe React or TypeScript or other Python. So it doesn't matter which language they are programming with the content. They can also take the same models and transform it into their respective programming models. So just follow the channels, write down your comments, your ideas, and your concept. That's help us, and also I believe that's help you into your professional careers. Just follow the channels, subscribe the channels, share with friends and colleagues. I will continue the further development. Now I say bye bye and goodbye.